So say you got a friend. All right. So you friends with remote, but you're not friends with water bottle. But remote, it was your friend, and you know remote is always with water bottle. You having an event and you want to invite remote, you and water bottle cool, but you don't want water bottle at your event. So, but you know, remote and water bottle cool, and because you're a people pleaser and you don't want to put remote in a weird space, you having an event and you know water bottle might take it away, and you overthinking and you like, oh, I don't want to create no unnecessary drama. So you don't want water bottle there because water bottle do the most. Water bottle do the most at events. So you invite remote and be like, hey, you can tell water bottle to come, or you end up telling water bottle about it, although you don't want water bottle there because you just trying to keep the peace and you just like, well, I don't want it to be weird or awkward. And you probably already peaked that water bottle don't like you no way, but you invite him anyway, just because you just like, well, I don't want it to be awkward. Stop doing that. Because now water bottle comes to your event, talking about the event, talking about how bad it was, and smiling in your face. What's up, y'all? So, look, let me just go ahead and keep it short with you. Did you know that as of 2024, the United States has a literacy problem? 21% of adults cannot read, and 54% of them have been recorded, and it has been documented read below a 6th grade level. That is a catastrophe. But that's where I step in. Now, I'm not going to teach the grown folks how to read and write. However, PSA, the Ghostwriting Solution, has now a new package. It's called the Literacy Liftoff, and it caters to 9th through 12th graders who struggle with reading, writing, and comprehension. This new tutoring service will offer vocabulary skills, teaching students how to literally write from the bottom, literally teaching them how to do an introduction paragraph, how to do a hook, how to do a conclusion, how to add a little razzle dazzle, and how to add their own personal touch to it. Okay. Now, you know what you're saying. Well, that's what they go to school for? Absolutely. But as an ex-teacher, the teachers just don't have time. So this program has 3 different packages from 3 different sets of hours that you can take. So if you're an AP, a principal, the student who needs help, the parent of the student, or you just know somebody who needs the help. If you're in the Houston area, you can get in-person tutorials. But if you are not in Houston, there are also virtual options offered as well. So hit me up at my email, theprodigyperspective@gmail.com, and or psathepodcast.com, and we will hook you up. Well, hold on. Oh, for some reason, it looked like this hand had some on it too. This one. I need to get this finished. I'm probably gonna get it finished. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So drop in the comments what I should do. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in again. Make sure y'all like, rate, and subscribe. And can you believe the fact that we are now in track 5 of this 6-track EP, which is week 6, although this is up track 5, because remember, track 3 was split into 2 parts. So we got a lot of good feedback on that last episode about offense. And I don't know if y'all can be able to peep with the comments or the quotes, the clips I'm using for the podcast. I'm making sure I'm really pulling the ones that are raw and uncut. I'm going to try to keep doing the ones too that are the informational ones, but I feel like the ones that are raw and uncut, you really get to see my character and those clips. I don't know why it's hard for me to say the word clips, but you're really able to see me in those clips. And I really want new people to see that side of me and then come and be like, I drew you in with the crazy and then you come in and learn something. Because, not saying that those aren't good too, but I just feel like in this hour, that's what I need to do. So I'm prepared to see more of that. Now, track 5. So you already know we're going to talk about, because you've seen the title, at the bottom. You seen the track list many weeks ago. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this week's meme reads, as a man, why are you a people pleaser? This is actually one of my favorite topics. Now, I always say with the segments, oh, my favorite segment, but this is actually one of my favorite topics because as somebody that used to be a people pleaser, which jumping into my inspirations, as somebody who used to be a people pleaser, and when it finally hit me, I want to say it hit me really, I believe, in 2016 that people was gonna talk about me no matter what I did. So it's like you might as well do what you want to do. They gonna get mad and call you selfish anyway. So they've been feeling that way. So now it's like, you know, it's just it is what it is. Then I got a quote from Sanjo Jindai. Jindai. It's spelled Jenday. People pleasing pleases everyone but the pleaser. That's a mouthful. People pleasers please everyone but the pleaser. People pleasers please everyone but the pleasers. People pleaser please everyone but the pleaser. That's a tongue twister for real. You know, to add that to y'all list, teachers. All right, y'all. Let's get into happy hour. Happy hour. Happy hour. Happy hour. All right, y'all. So today's happy hour is a quick little topic, something that has been pulling on me, and I believe that because of reality TV, society has a warped perception of relationships. What do I mean by that? So, first of all, some people have always been dressers. Try to start at the bottom and work my way up. So some people have always been like dressers, or people who, that's the old folks say they dress to the nines. But it's like people now think they own a TV show, so they go into their favorite restaurant, their favorite cafe, dressed up. Now, I will say, I try to argue both sides of the ball. I will say from the positive angle, like I said, some people are dressers and some people just get dressed. Everywhere they go, they gotta have a fit on. But if you're like a content creator, influencer, vlogger, I understand. Like I made the joke in one of my groups of friends where I said, like, if I'll take this cabin trip, I said, make sure, even though we're gonna be in the cabin, I said, bring your best fits. I said, because I'm gonna vlog it. So that's the reason gonna be cameras present. So might as well you dress. But a lot of times these people be dressed to the nines, just fly, just super fly. Like you got to be super fly to go every little place, every dinner, every lunch. Like you finna film a scene for Basketball Wives, and you getting dressed up to go to Chili's. While we're talking about Chili's has, and this is not an ad by the way, Chili's has these honey chipotle mozzarella sticks. It's crazy because why has no one ever thought to do that before? Like the same little sauce you put on your chicken, your shrimp, maybe your fish. Why wouldn't nobody ever thought to put that on mozzarella sticks? Because I'm a mozzarella stick connoisseur. But anywho, the mugs is great. Y'all should try them. They were great. Like I might get them again soon. They was really good. Back to the story though. Reality shows. People think that they are so engulfed with holding people accountable and I gotta hold this person accountable, and it's almost like, and then a lot of times too, think like you on a TV show, we got to do it in a group setting, or we're real dramatic, like, hey, we're having an issue, can you meet us up here and we're gonna have a conversation about what happened at the dinner party last week, or a comment you said the other day I don't like. And it's just like, bro, this is not reality TV. That stuff is amplified for entertainment. And a lot, but it did its job because not only is it entertaining, it got into y'all subconscious, and you think this is how things are supposed to be. And it's like, it don't take all that. Like, why is we having an issue with something and you busting out in the tears? Like, I'm gonna feel like a camera's around the corner because you're being dramatic. And then it's like, people take offense to the phrase dramatic. I mean, if you are dramatic, you're dramatic. It's not that deep to me, but like, you're being dramatic right now. What are you crying for? It ain't that deep. It's not that deep. I think that again with the whole reality TV thing, it's just like, bro, y'all really think like it's like people get angry in group settings. People, what does the reality show people do? They, like I said, it's like they cry on cue. Everything is always an issue. Everything is not an issue that you have to sit down and talk about. Let me say this to somebody. Let me free somebody today. Friendship not that hard. So if you and your friend keep butting heads about something, you feel like you need to keep having to sit down with them about something, y'all just need to stop being cool. It's not that deep. It's just not that hard. I know people be like, relationships say work. Relationships say work. Granted, friendship is a type of relationship. It don't take all that. It just don't. Anybody say otherwise? Well, that's you. Well, you like difficult stuff because I like this is my season where I feel everything should come with ease. And when it start coming or being too difficult, I gotta move around because I ain't got time. But that's just me. That's just my take on it. But stop letting reality TV influence how you handle situations. Stop feeling the need to do any of that. You know, and even with these reality stars, a lot of them do stuff because of their fans and they try to appease and please their fans. And that's a nice little segue to end happy hour. People trying to people please and people trying to make people happy. Like, it's not even you in real life. Why you acting like that? You didn't did one thing one time and you got good reactions for your fans. Now you try to be this person every time. That ain't you. That ain't you. But that's a great segue into the next segment, which is the case study. Now, as you saw today, we're talking about people pleasing. So today I have two videos we're going to analyze. Both are actually from different TED Talks. So I'm going to show the first video first. It's only going to be 1 minute from this video. But let me know if the things that this lady is talking about, let me know if you can agree or this is you. You know what I'm saying? That mean where it be like, this you? Let me know. Is this you? Because I'm guarantee it's somebody. Because I wouldn't be doing this episode if it wasn't.
Have this tendency or these people-pleasing habits. So let's do a little test. I'm going to ask you some questions and just see how you answer these. Do you have a hard time saying no and setting boundaries? Do you struggle with low self-confidence and feelings of not being good enough?
Wix, one platform, any website, unlimited creation.
Do you agree with people simply to not rock the boat and not have conflict? And lastly, are you worried about what other people will think or say about you? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, then you may have some people-pleasing tendencies. We do need to be careful because tendencies can turn into habits, and then habits can turn into full-blown addictions.
All right, now this is a video from Janice Burt, and it talks about people pleasing is an addiction in disguise. So before we go to the next video, because the next video is a little longer, it's longer, but the clips are longer because I actually got 3 different parts I want to talk about from the video, the next one. But like she said, some of those are tendencies. Tendencies can turn to a full-blown addiction. And even with me, sometimes I do believe, like, even though it doesn't fully stop me, I am aware kind of sometimes like what people may say or think, but it doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do or what I know I should do. But the goal is to get to the point where I don't even do that. But it's some people who literally won't even do nothing because of that. And then there's some people, I saw that one, which I've been in before, like, do you avoid conflict just to keep the peace? Because sometimes, but then even with that, I saw a thing quoted by your girl, Candace Owens, even though she didn't make up the quote, but she said it recently. I saw where she was just like, when you avoid conflict, there's a conflict on the inside of you. So when you try to just say, I'm just not going to say nothing, I'm just not going to say nothing. And I do believe there's a thin line between letting people have it and, you know, not fighting every battle, but still need to say something. You need to realize what people you're around. And some people don't realize you can be like big monsters sometimes. And not saying that they're a monster, but you know what I mean? They can come off that way and they can just be a lot, but they don't believe that. So now let's go to the next video. And this is going to include a lot of F-bombs. So hopefully none of y'all are faint of heart. This is by Sarah Knight, another tech talk, and it's the magic of not giving a F. And if you struggle with giving one, this is for you. All right.
Give a fuck about Game of Thrones. I mean, I don't care about Game of Thrones. Now let's take the concept a step further. And let's define your fucks as your time, energy, and money. So if you don't care about something, you should stop giving your fucks to it. I don't care about Game of Thrones, so I don't spend time watching it. I don't spend energy wondering where the next season is going. And I don't spend my money on the books or merchandise or anything Westeros related. Game of Thrones does not get any of my fucks. Make sense? By making these calculated decisions, you wind up with more time, energy, and money to spend on the things you really do care about. And I call that making a fuck budget.
All right, good stuff. So great start. Like I said, she talks about what do you care about, what do you give an F about, what do you don't. And a lot of times, a lot of y'all give too many Fs about people, what they think, how they gonna view this, and it stifles you, and it delays you, and it keeps you held back. You're held back because of it, because you refuse to you don't want to rock the boat. Some people, I do feel like, rock the boat on purpose and try to just be like those difficult people on purpose, and that's not cool. But in the same breath, if you're that person, that's just not for everybody. It's okay. And it's okay to don't let people bully you into saying that you don't care about nothing because you're nonchalant. And I think sometimes people think that people don't care about nothing because they're nonchalant, which, like I said, a lot of people just don't like that personality trait, and that's a personal problem. But let's go to the next part. All right.
Are all of the things that bring you joy, but also all of the stuff that annoys you. The potential for a happy life is there, but you have to clear out the annoy to make room for the joy. This is mental decluttering, and it is magical. I did it by accident when I quit my job, but it was so amazing that I developed a way for you to do it on purpose. I call it the not sorry method. It has 2 steps. Step 1, decide what you don't give a fuck about.
Wow.
Identify the different Oscar.
Wow. All right.
Step 2, don't give a fuck about those things. Simple, right? But I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a recipe for turning into an asshole. It's okay, I get that a lot. But that's where the not sorry part comes in. See, my method is all about not giving a fuck, using honesty and politeness. So in the end, you don't have to feel guilty. You were on your best behavior, and you have nothing to apologize for. You are quite literally not sorry. And you're also not an asshole.
All right, so that's the second part. Okay, so basically, I like that aspect of the not sorry method and not being sorry that things don't interest you. No, it is not a priority to take you to the airport the day of because your other ride canceled, and you try to guilt trip me because your other ride canceled and now you want me to come take you the day of. That does not make me a bad person. It does not make me a bad person if you want me to let you stay with me because your girlfriend kicked you out because you was cheating and you got caught cheating, and now this is the 3rd time. No, it is not my fault that you lost your job and you need some money to pay your rent, and you ask me to help you pay your rent and get mad because I don't do it. No, it is not my fault that you lost your rent or lost your apartment because you was living there illegally, and then you get mad at me because I won't let you stay there and with me because you don't want to move back home. No, and no. You're not going to bully me and try to guilt trip me because of your bad decisions. So somebody needs to hear that today. Do not let people's bad decisions that they made pull you in the vortex, because now you going through it because you want to make people happy and don't want to upset nobody, but you over here now you got a drinking problem, or you smoking weed every day like the song say, because you didn't sat up here and let these people bully you, and then now you can't be mad at nobody but yourself, because guess why? You let them do it. All right, let's get into the last video, or the last part of the video we're gonna watch, and then we're gonna be done with the videos for the day. But like I said, good stuff so far, and I think this is stuff y'all can internalize for sure.
You feel bad about turning down the invite, but you really love Game of Thrones, and you don't want to record it to watch later because spoilers. Well, you only have so much time, energy, and money to spend on Sunday night. So you need to consult your fuck budget. Decide which activity brings more joy. and allocate your fuck bucks accordingly. And I'm telling you, if you respond in a timely fashion, no thanks, can't make it to that dinner party, you've done nothing wrong. You were honest, you were polite, and you don't have to be sorry about it. And that's just the tip of the fuckberg.
All right, so shout out to Sarah Knight in this video. I think it's great, and y'all need to watch the whole thing so you can get the better understanding with that. But to end off what she's saying, create a budget and basically say, like, is this in my budget, like how we do financially? And I agree with that. Like, say, okay, I have 5 F's for the week, 5 things I care about for the week, and I can give out. Like, do I care about this? I care about that. Like I said, and some people will argue like, oh, well, that's selfish that you don't want to miss your show, but because I definitely see people call themselves selfish. But what I have noticed, and we'll get more in depth as we get in this episode, a lot of people who struggle with people pleasing are quick to call people who have boundaries selfish. Have you noticed that? Because I have. I've been called it a lot by people, which I've identified are people pleasers. So if anything, if you are right, I'm one extreme and you the other extreme. So then it's hard for me to listen to you because you're on one extreme. Like it's hard for you to listen to me because I'm on another extreme. If I am selfish, like you say, and do I have selfish moments? I am here today to say that I believe that everyone is selfish to an extent. Even if you don't realize you're being selfish, you probably are. A lot of times people being selfish and don't even realize it. You wanted things to go your way, and throwing a temper tantrum is selfish. So people overlook little stuff like that. But hey, who am I? All right, y'all. Now let's get into the next segment because I'm by myself. QTNA, which is questions that need addressing. So the first question for today is, why do people struggle to say no? I believe people struggle to say no because people, in short, just don't like people being upset with them or sad with them. Like, oh, it's hard for me to say no because you lack boundaries. You lack boundaries. You lack strength to say, like, oh no, that's not gonna work for me. You lack the strength to do that. You lack boundaries, and you probably suffer from a spirit of rejection. So because you don't like that, you don't want to make nobody feel like how you felt. And I'm going off of things I've researched, but also personal experience. So yeah, and we all know going to the school of the hard knocks is the best teacher, but you don't want people to be upset with you because you want to make everybody happy. And you, like I said, you struggle with some rejection stuff, and you like, oh no, I just, and it makes you feel like you're being rejected if they're rejected because you care about the person and you care about your reputation and you care what people think about you. But when you learn not to care about that, because when you finally hit you, that people gonna say them mean things about you anyway, you say you might as well do what you want to do. They're gonna say it anyway. Life hack. The second question is, producers are getting good with these questions. Why do people invite people to an event they don't want them at? Okay. So why do people invite them to an event they don't want them at? So I guess that's kind of like, why would I invite? I get people pleasing because it's just like, and sometimes you don't want to make stuff awkward. Like, okay, say for instance, this is people pleasing, right? Say you have where are my examples? Oh, I got my stuff. Okay. So say you got a friend. All right. So you friends with Remote, but you're not friends with Water Bottle. But Remote, it was your friend, and Remote is always with Water Bottle. You having an event and you want to invite Remote, you and Water Bottle cool, but you don't want Water Bottle at your event. So, but Remote and Water Bottle cool, and because you're a people pleaser and you don't want to put Remote in a weird space, you having an event and Water Bottle might take it away, and you overthinking and you like, oh, I don't want to create no unnecessary drama. So you don't want Water Bottle there because Water Bottle do the most. Water Bottle do the most at events. So you invite Remote and be like, hey, you can tell Water Bottle to come, or you end up telling Water Bottle about it, although you don't want Water Bottle there, because you just trying to keep the peace and you just like, well, I don't want it to be weird or awkward. And you probably already peeped that Water Bottle don't like you no way, but you invite him anyway, just because you just like, well, I don't want it to be awkward. Stop doing that. Because now water bottle coming to your event, talking about the event, talking about how bad it was and smiling in your face. So now you got to op at your stuff. And you done created an op because y'all was cool. Y'all really was weird. Because just because y'all don't necessarily don't like somebody or it's weird energy don't mean it's an op. But now an op that been created because the person that came there and they said all this stuff and it got back to you. Now it's a whole big old thing. I don't know who's in here. This. Stop inviting people you don't like or don't want to your events and trips. They're gonna call you the bad guy anyway. They was already saying that. So now they got a reason. But they was already saying it. So give them a reason. Third question, is sharing your location a form of people pleasing? Now, I had this conversation with a friend. I told him, I'm going to put this in the podcast because I want this to be a conversation. I say it ain't about because people like, oh, I don't share my location. I turn my location off because you're trying to be sneaky and freaky and all that. No, it ain't about that. It's just like you sharing your location with all these people. You can turn it off. Why do you want all the people to know where you at? Now, some people, 1 or 2 people maybe, but why does everybody know where you at all times? And that's actually not safe because, again, y'all don't be having discernment for real. Y'all don't be knowing who rock with y'all and who don't. And you'll be thinking, and then people gonna say you being paranoid, but no, you just need. And I'm not saying that people who have share their friend location, they locate with everybody, have those types of friends. But a lot of you, I'm saying for the people that don't have discernment, you'll be to share your location with somebody and then confused as to why you done got robbed, and then don't understand how. And the whole time it's somebody you done shared your location with. Hey, you done shared your location, now you done got robbed. That's something to think about. Something to think about. Finally, do you love yourself if you're a people pleaser? I say no. It's kind of like those, I was going to say those girls, but you can argue those. Well, do we want to go there? We want to go there today. I'll just say them people who I'm going to say them people who have sex with any and everybody, and they just a freak. And then, of course, in the world standards, they a freak. They sexually liberated because it could really be either gender, but, and they like, oh, I just love it. And it's just like, it's some form of something you're trying to feel. Obviously, you're trying to feel the quench for that sex demon. However, they'll never be satisfied. Somebody need to hear that. But it's something internally that that void that you're trying to feel. And it's probably some type of trauma. It's probably, I haven't done the full research on it. I'm just going on what we've seen, and it later comes out and we see. We might need to get somebody on here who will know that. Hold me to that, because we're going to have that soon. Trust me, we need to talk about that. All right. So the definition of people pleaser. People pleaser, it says is a personality means that a person feels a strong urge to please others, even at their own expense. They may feel their wants and needs do not matter not matter or alter their personality around others. So you dimming your light. The next definition is honest, free of deceit, untruthfulness, sincere, and then selfishness of a person, action, or motive lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly one's own personal profit or pleasure. Okay. All right. So let's move to the next segment for the day, which is, what does this have to do with mental health? Because this has a lot to do with mental health, believe it or not. All right. Let's get into the first thing. The first thing is social anxiety. Let's talk about it. It says that depression and low self, it says, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, young millennial men who engage in people-pleasing behaviors often experience heightened social anxiety. The fear of rejection or judgment from others drives them to prioritize needs, which can increase feelings of social anxiety and lead to mental health challenges. The second one is depression and low self-esteem. The American Psychological Association notes that people-pleasing often stems from low self-esteem and can exacerbate depressive symptoms. Young millennial men who prioritize others' needs over their own may struggle with their lack of self-worth, which can contribute to or worsen depression. Think about it. Those, like, if you always, again, trying to, because now this is on your brain too, like, oh, I got to make sure my people good, and now you got other stuff you worried about, but because you took on something you didn't need to take on, now you all over the place, and now you about to burn out, which is the third one, burnout. It says that Harvard Business Review highlights that people pleasing can lead to burnout, especially in young millennial men who overextend themselves to gain approval. The relentless pursuit of validation from others can result in physical and emotional exhaustion, affecting overall mental health. People will please themselves to burnout and say, and that's the thing, people will people please their way to burnout and then say, you're selfish. They'll say you're selfish because you have boundaries. They'll say you're selfish because you know when I need a break. I'm not going to let nobody stress me out. Somebody told me that was selfish one time. So you mean to tell me not letting somebody blow my gasket is selfish? Y'all ain't about to stress me out. No, you don't have to figure out everybody's problems. And a lot of people struggle with being fixers and trying to fix people up. And I'm trying to fix everything because and then you crumbling on the inside. People don't get it. Like this, you need to let it go. I wish I could shake some of y'all. I wish I could shake some of y'all. I wish I could shake some of y'all. Like how you just got shook. That's how I want to shake y'all. The fourth one, and I love this one, impaired decision making. It says that the National Alliance of Mental Health Illness, NAMI, people-pleasing behaviors can impair decision-making abilities in young millennial men. It says the fear of disappointing others can lead to indecision or poor choices, negatively impacting their mental well-being, leading to feelings of self-doubt and regret. What you regret? For me, I regret, like I said, that's why I am where I'm at now. I hated the fact that I did all that stuff for people and they'll give like a little thank you. Like, oh, thank you, it's so nice. But then later on, the next time you don't do something for them, you the devil. You need to go to hell. You're the worst person ever. I hate you. It's like, why y'all never remember the good stuff? That's what I be saying. They never remember the good stuff. Never. And I mean never. Now, let's flip the script, all right? And let's get into the next segment. I challenge that. And I have a few things to challenge on this here. Well, it's a Sunday when it's being recorded, so yeah. But anyway, all right. So the first question is it ever okay to be a people pleaser? Like, here's why you're going to think it is. So let's get into the positives. And of course, I've always got my sources. It says that people-pleasing behavior, which involves being considerate and cooperative, can contribute to positive social interactions and strong relationships. It says, according to Psychology Today, traits like empathy and kindness are valuable and can enhance personal and professional connections. And this comes from People-Pleasing, Why It's a Problem, Psychology Today, right? Here's the thing with that, though. You think that that's helping. But here's the thing. You can be empathetic. You can show kindness and value connections joining the club. You don't have to please people to do that. You can go find you a club for that. They have that. Okay. So you don't need to do that for that. You know what I mean? And it, like I said, it's underlined as we saw thus far. We have a little more to cover. You see that there's some underlying issues there if you are a people pleaser. Now, let's talk about something else because, like I said, as much as I am extra over the top, I'm also very much nonchalant. And that bothers people. People are like, oh, you just don't care about nothing. What you want me to be screaming and hollering and crying over everything? Like, y'all, I don't get it. Is that a problem? Is being nonchalant a problem? What's the meme? The video, like, is it me? Am I the drama? Is it me? Is it me because I'm just very like whatever? Why is that an issue? Why is that a problem to be just like, oh, okay. What you want me to be like? Oh my God, why did you do that? Like, I don't get it. Let me know in the comments, am I tripping? Am I the drama? Am I the drama? Am I the drama? Now, watch this. According to magnifymind.com, it talks about being nonchalant. And it says that you may seem uninterested or apathetic. And then it says people may view nonchalant as a lack of caring. It says you may miss important cues or details if you are too nonchalant. And then it says, people say you don't care about anybody, people, or anything. But this is my rebuttal to that. That's what it says. I said, I'd rather you think that and be all of that than let people take advantage of me. Because like I said before, y'all be letting people take advantage of y'all. And they know they can. So then, but y'all don't clock them. Y'all don't check them. But then you'll get on me if I tell you, them people taking advantage of you. I was called selfish because it was a lot of things that I did have. Like I said, remember, water bottle and remote. And when I did it, I learned that people even then said like, oh, you forget to invite them, or you didn't invite them. And then that's called selfish. But a lot of times people just want to invite because they be having FOMO. And now we're going to talk about FOMO at a later episode more in depth, which is, for those that don't know, that's the fear of missing out. That's what a lot of people do have. We're going to talk about that later episode. But the thing is, I cannot stand being accused of something I didn't do. And there have been many instances where people took something wrong and felt the way about something I did because of their own traumas. Because like we saw last week in the whole offended episode, when somebody overreacts to something you did, it's something somebody did to them before that they was traumatized by, and they ain't over it. So that's usually what happens. But like I said, they get mad at me, and then it comes back on me. And it's like, you're not going to blame me for that. You're not going to blame me for that. No, I'm not going to let that happen. So, one thing about me, like I said, put your good foot down. Tell people they're not going to play with you no more. And if they're not going to listen, show them. All right. Now, let's move into the next segment and the final segment for today. And it's weird saying that this is the final segment because of how things happen. But let's get into the weekly sabbatical. Okay, so let's talk about this. Understand that with people pleasing, what most people fail to realize is you can't save everybody. You know the song Juicy J and them, Project Pat, 3-6 Mafia. Don't save her. She don't want to. Remember that song back in the day? You can't save everybody. And then, of course, E40, I think, was the original. But you can't save everybody. Now, something else I really didn't realize was people pleasing. And it was in 2016 when I learned to not do this because, again, that's when I learned, people going to feel this way anyway. People going to do this anyway. So 2016 was a situation where some people fell out. And basically, I had one friend who fell out. And this person didn't care that everyone had mutual friends. So me, in the past, I've stayed cool with people because I'm like, well, I don't want it to be awkward for the group. And I really didn't like them, and I was really over the person. But when I saw this person do it, and nobody said none of them, I know they said it to me just because this is how they feel about me. So I stopped doing that because I realized that's a form of people pleasing. And even doing this episode and doing my research, I learned like I probably still have some people pleasing tendencies. I thought I was fully off of it. People pleasing don't control me, and I know I'm not a people pleaser, but I still have some tendencies and some residue. I still believe that's still there. So it's interesting for me to realize that today on camera. That's crazy, right? And even like the lady said in the first video, talking about people having people pleasing tendencies. So I find that interesting, but I didn't realize that was people pleasing. So now, as we end off on today, I have 2 different websites and 2 different articles where I got tips on how to overcome people pleasing. Say you struggle with people pleasing, and you don't know what to do. And then also we got to get into like, what does God say about people pleasing? Because one thing, before I get into my sources, because I have from 2 different articles, as I stated, you can't be used by God and be a people pleaser. Because if you see in most cases in different parts of the Bible, Old and New Testament, people had to do what God wanted them to do. And a lot of time they got them thrown in jail. They got them killed. They got them crucified. That's the same thing, but crucified. They got them talked about, stoned, thrown stones at them, ostracized. They couldn't stay in a certain city. They had to move from place to place. They said, if you didn't accept you here, go to the next place. So it's not going to make people happy. And if you care what people think, I'm here today to tell you that God can't use you like you want him to. We say, you fall out at church on Sunday, oh Lord, use me. But then you're gonna say, well, what's my mama gonna think? Oh Lord, use me. But what is them people down the hall and around the corner gonna think? Because some people do care about strangers. So it's to me, I think it's a little easier to say like you will care about people you actually care about versus people you don't care about. But some people care about everybody, even if they don't realize it. So, great segue to this article. So, you cannot please God and people. And this is by Marshall Siegel. It says this is one of his first tips. So, if you struggle with people pleasing, listen up. Listen up. All right. So, it says cultivate a fear of God over fear of man. It says this article emphasizes the root of people pleasing often lies in fear of man, which can overshadow the fear of God. To counter this, it's crucial to develop a reverent fear of God, a fear that acknowledges his holiness, justice, and mercy. By focusing on God's opinions and prioritizing his approval, believers can gradually diminish their concern for human judgment. This shift helps in realigning motivations, making decisions more about what pleases God rather than what pleases others. Reflecting on scriptures like Psalm 96:9 and Colossians 3:22, the article advises meditating on God's nature to cultivate the fear and in turn breaking free from the chains people pleasing. So again, I said if people please rooting in some of this, I feel like you could argue a debate that it's a few things, but for them to say people fear of man is one thing, because you may not be like, oh, they're gonna beat me up, or but a lot of people don't like people feeling a negative way about them. Some people rather you fight them than they deal with you thinking negatively of me or having the wrong impression of me. But as we talked about last week with offense, remember, your impression of you and somebody getting the wrong impression of you is rooted in ego if you get offended because you feel like this is who I am and they don't see me. And you have to learn to be okay with people not going to see you the way you want to be seen all the time. And some people like me who I know I am, I don't say it as far as publicly a lot because I feel like a man doing it, maybe petty, I don't know, argue me down, that man being like, oh, I'm just misunderstood. I just feel like that's childish and kind of weak to me, although it is true I am misunderstood, but I don't use it as a crutch. So you're not weak for feeling or knowing that you're misunderstood. It's just using it as a crutch. So I'm aware that I am, but I just don't use it as a crutch. So a person like me, I could just be like, oh, they misinterpreted what I said, or you heard wrong. And a lot of the cases, that do be the case. And so I'm like, well, that's not what I meant. But again, understanding how pride works and how people hear one thing and that's not what you said. We can be here all day with that. Now let's go to the second one from this same article before we jump to the next article. It says, prioritize sincerity over superficiality. The act of people pleasing can lead to a lack of authenticity, where individuals present different versions of themselves to gain approval. The article warns against the duplicity and superficiality, advocating instead for sincerity. Sincerity involves being consistent and truthful in one's actions, whether in public or private. This means resisting the urge to alter behavior just to fit in or please others, and instead striving to be genuine and true to others, and true to one's faith in all circumstances. The article points out that insincerity not only diminishes, golly, words turn me up today, diminishes personal integrity, but also distance one from the peace and fulfillment that comes from a life living pleasing to God. Okay, a lot to unpack there. Kind of not really, but basically just stating that you cannot be authentic if you live in for other people. And again, people care too much what people think about them. And like people act different just to like please people, make everybody happy. But like I said, when you realize they don't like you no way, I'm telling you that's the biggest eye opener. When you realize they don't like you no way, you might as well do what you want to do. You'll be much freer because you'll try and then you'll catch on to that. As soon as you do wrong, they throw it up in your face. And as soon as you do right, oh, good job. And that's it. But if you do wrong, they ain't gonna never let you forget it. Now, this is from another article. So I got two different articles today. And so this one is from How to Stop Being a People Pleaser from Psychology Today. And here are 4 tips to help. So along with the stuff ahead that we just read, take that stuff too, but take this stuff down too. Get comfortable with saying no. According to Psychology Today, learning to say no is crucial for overcoming people-pleasing behaviors. Phrases like, unfortunately, I can't, or thanks, but that's not going to work for me, can help you maintain boundaries and reduce stress from constantly agreeing to others' requests. Now, I have no problem saying no. It rolls off the tongue like I speak Spanish, right? And so with that, I don't have a problem saying no. What I'll say is sometimes I might could word it a little better because I'll be cool. Nope. Nah. But you said no to somebody, if they struggle with rejection, they instantly get offended. But also with that, I don't, and this is my thing too with people, I don't understand. If someone has shown you who they are, and I hate that term because it's so like cliche, them who showed you who they are, believe them. If somebody has shown you that they ain't reliable, why you keep asking? That's stupid. Or now I think you stupid because they've shown you time and time again they're not reliable. So why would you keep trying to see like maybe they're gonna change your mind? Because even if they do change your mind in that moment, you still gonna say they're unreliable. So I don't get that. People, you be seeing people and y'all just don't let it go. Keep that in mind. The second one is setting boundaries. According to Psychology Today, establishing boundaries, whether in time, finances, or emotional energy, is essential to protecting yourself from burnout. Setting clear limits ensures that you're not overextending yourself to accommodate others at the expense of your own well-being. I said that earlier about boundaries, all right? Center yourself. Psychology Today notes that focusing on your own needs and desires instead of always prioritizing others is a vital step toward overcoming people-pleasing. Asking yourself how a decision makes you feel and what you want can guide you toward healthier, more self-respecting choices. So keep that in mind, being guided and going down the right road, because a lot of times, like I said, we be caught up in the wrong stuff. And I just know that it is just not, you got to stay grounded and rooted. So for the final one, remember your values. According to Psychology Today, aligning your actions with your personal values is key. If a request or task contradicts what you hold important, it is necessary to say no. Your values serve as a roadmap to help you make decisions that honor your integrity. So again, certain things just conflict. It's just conflict. Like, now it's not always to do, but see, one thing about me is, even if I do have a selfish moment, at least I'm honest. I know people pleasers who will lie that they got something to do, and I can't stand a liar. Remember, like I said last week, word on street, I'm a liar. But I hate when people lie about it. Like, you don't want to do it, but you're not going to say it because you're a people pleaser. So you're going to be like, oh, I got something to do. No, you don't. You just don't want to do it. Just say, nah, I ain't feeling that today. It's really much easier than you would think. And this one is a tip of my own. I actually have some more tips of my own, which are kind of blended in through here. But this one I really want you to take home with you. And this is just for me. You'll always be wrong in the eyes of some people. It don't matter what you do. You'll always be wrong in their eyes. It don't matter. If you ever met those people where they bias, like if you get into it with somebody, they like you, they gonna always side with them, anybody over you, unless the other person they hate more than you. They ain't never gonna tell you right, even if you are. They were like, nah, you tripping, or nah, it's never, you always wrong. So peep that, accept that, and go about your business. Now let's get into the final question and challenge for the day. Do you struggle with trying to please everybody? And then my challenge will be stop. Now, before we take the tips given today and really just do a just sit with yourself and reflect, and just, do your research on some of these things. Sit with yourself, pray, ask God to show you things in you that you don't know. And that's pretty much it. So, all right, y'all. I didn't keep y'all too long today. Next week is the final track, and I'm very excited about that one because this is gonna be, we're gonna be hooting and hollering for real. That's all I got to say about that. So tune in next week, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in this week. Y'all are so great and terrific and awesome. Not more awesome than me, but y'all awesome. No, y'all more awesome than me. I ain't gonna lie. And I thank y'all for doing what y'all do. As always, PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And I love us for